Oh, boy! Yes!
Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I go to war with every single one of you, every fucking game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3! Win!
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime. Ready? Here we go. This is Friday Night Lights. I am Mikey. That is Tommy. What's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to all of Bill's Mafia out there. We have made it. Week 4 of the NFL, baby, is upon us. And we are 3-0, Mikey. Feels good. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of people had us probably 3-0 at this point, or at least looking this good at 3-0. So it's awesome. And I just can't wait to go to 4-0. So
right?
we can continue this.
And this is one of the games that I had us losing in the preseason prediction.
Ooh,
when we did our season prediction earlier. However, at the end of this show, I will tell you if I'm still thinking we're going to lose or not.
Okay.
I know what? I need to get me a Dak Prescott. Here we go. One of those for you.
Okay, here we go. I hate that shit. Real.
I know. That's why I opened the show with it. It was just for you.
So annoying. What up, Beth, man? We appreciate y'all being in the house. Mafia Talk. If y'all don't know, that's Jay from Mafia Talk and Big Cuz. They're live every Wednesday at 8 over here at Mafia Sports Report. So watch them, man. They did a great job previewing this game that we're going to preview tonight. And, yeah, y'all want to watch them, man. What up, Matthew? I appreciate you, man. Rocking with us tonight. Yeah, man, let's get it. Let's get it. If y'all, oh, by the way, if y'all don't know, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This way you can get all our content. Go ahead, Mike.
We actually said that. We never say that during the show.
I know. It just popped in my head. Now, you know what? I do say it in my videos, but I always forget to say it. Yeah, always. I got like a one-liner that I do all the time now, Mikey. I'm like, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I always forget to tell you. Because we always do, but I always say it now. Yeah.
We jump right into the show and we just start talking, and then the chat comes in and we start talking with the chat, and it's just something I always forget about.
Yeah, it happens. Me too, man. Me too.
I wanted to go back to this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Over under 6 snaps for Shakir to break the record. Do you know what record Spin is talking about?
I have no idea.
The most consecutive catches record. He's tied at like 27. One more and he breaks the record.
Who has the record? Is it really?
Yeah, it's an NFL record. 20, like without an incompletion to him, without anything. It's 27 straight passes.
Damn. All right.
Yep. So over under 6 snaps. How long do you think it takes? I think snap 1. They run some kind of bubble screen to him
to break that record. I'll say under. I'll say under. I don't know if they do a bubble to him though. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but I mean they could. But I don't know if it'll be like a cheap
Michael Thomas is the guy.
Okay. Okay.
Attaboy, Spin. Come with the trivia tonight. Love it. You know. Do we want to start with around the league?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Are you starting with because normally you have all the bad news, so go ahead. Let's hit it.
Cowboys, Micah Parsons high ankle sprain last night in the game. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Devontae Adams out this weekend. Crosby and Munford both doubtful for this weekend.
Oh man.
Jordan Love is questionable. They think he might be able to come back, but if not, it's going to be Willis versus the Vikings.
We're the worst. We're the worst with our bad news.
Right? Samuels and Trent Williams, Debo and Trent both questionable for this weekend.
Jeez.
Olave questionable. Linebacker Davis out for the Saints. And then for the positive news, it looks like Keenan Allen's is getting ready to come back this week.
All right, good stuff. Some
positives.
All right, man. About time.
For the Bills, it's actually really good news. So, Tron and Bernard are both out this week. Bernard returned to practice. Tron didn't. They're looking at them both practicing, limiting, and going forward. So it sounds like they're coming back. And then the only other injury that we had was Tylen Grable, who went on IR, and we signed Will Clapp.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep. We signed was it a receiver? We signed somebody else too. I think it was a receiver that we signed.
We signed the practice squad. Yes.
Yeah, he's like a 4.3 guy. He's just another speedster.
A little small guy. You know, I think he was on the Ravens practice squad.
Yeah, we'll see how that works.
They always have those little fast guys over there. So it was a really good week for the Bills this week, getting great news on Tron and Bernard. The fact that Bernard's even out there, doing stuff in red non-contact is awesome. Yeah,
most definitely. We're going to need him, obviously, if we're going to want to continue, winning. I got to be real. Like, I appreciate, obviously the guys that stepped in is doing great. Cam Lewis is doing wonderful, but we need our playmakers out there. We need the top dogs out there. Especially I would say for the second half of the season, you know what I mean? Because that's where it gets that's where you want to finish the season strong. That's really where the Buffalo Bills have flourished is the second half of the season. So you kind of want those guys returning for the second half at least. So yeah, can't wait. We need them back.
The good news is they're returning to practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a positive sign. So, I mean,
he says I have a strange way of saying what good news is, as they're both out this week, but they're returning to practice. They're both back there working out.
Right.
When Tron got hurt, we didn't know how long he was going to be out, and then when Bernard got hurt, we thought he was gone for most of the season. And Bernard got back to practice faster than Tron did, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good sign. It's a good sign moving forward. Milano, anything on him or nothing on Milano?
No, he's still on IR.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. That's it is what it is, man.
He doesn't have the brace. They showed him on the coverage last week. He was at the game because saw
I did see him
Tron, Bernard, and Milano all together talking with Josh after he was done, and he didn't have the brace on.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, man, golly, Mikey, this team with all the injuries, we need some good news like this. You know what I mean? Yes, they're returning this weekend, but it's a good sign of things moving forward that these guys are inching their way back to playing. So,
if not for Houston, they should be back for the Jets, which is great news.
Yeah.
Mafia Talk comes in and says, so the real question is, can the Bills beat a playoff team? We beat up the bums, but can we perform this way against the better teams? Do you consider the Ravens the playoff team? They are 1-2. If we beat up the Ravens, are people going to say, well, they had a losing record?
No. I mean, of course they'll find. Yeah, in a way. So of course they'll find a way to not give the Bills credit. Yeah. But the reality is, look, man, they more than likely they are a playoff team. Yes, they started 1-2 is not the greatest start in the world. But they are a good team. And sometimes teams start out the gate a little slow. They got playmakers. Don't get it twisted. And so does Miami until Tua went down. If Tua didn't go down, we still would have won that game. But I'm just saying, I don't think people would look at that team. I think they would have won last week against Seattle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're a bad football team, Miami Dolphins. They would, for me, I think they were a playoff team. I really do. I know they didn't start great, but losing Tua, listen, if you lose your starting quarterback, I don't care who you are for the most part, your team's not going to perform well, okay? So I think we beat a playoff team already in Miami. They're not now because there's no Tua, right? You can't lose your quarterback and say you're a playoff team. If we beat Baltimore, yes, like that's two, in my opinion, playoff teams we beat, because at the time Miami was considered a playoff team. Not only were they considered a playoff team, they were considered the AFC East, to win the AFC East. Yeah, so stop. I understand Jacksonville, whatever, but we also gave them a beatdown. It wasn't like that game was close, right? Where we only won by a field goal, which we wouldn't have because Tyler Bass would have missed it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
You know what, shots tonight.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we manhandled a team we should have manhandled. Cool.
Yeah.
Give us our dues. We beat the hell out of a Miami Dolphins team with Tua, so don't give me no bullshit.
Oh, no, they're using the Miami banged up.
Yeah, and Arizona is a tough damn team. So who could be a playoff team? So I'm just throwing that out there.
We dominated after the first half. We dominated Arizona. If it wasn't for their kick
special
return,
team,
it was
crap.
over.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And if it wasn't for our early blunders with penalties and stuff like that, we would have had more points on the board as well. So, no, man, listen, it's an important game. It's an AFC team. They're a stacked team, in my opinion, too. They have a lot of playmakers. So, yeah, if we beat them, we'll just get more credit. And there's also going to be the other side, the flip side of the coin, where you're going to get the hate. Oh, Ravens are just overrated. Same thing we heard when we beat Miami. So, I guess just block out the outside noise and let's just stack up the wins. That's all.
Robert comes in and says, why is the Bills podcasters and TV broadcasters never give Shakir his deserved respect? I don't know about the other Bills podcasters, but Shakir's loved here.
Hey,
we've been talking about here for years.
Since his rookie year. I mean, Robert, I'm sure he's not talking about us, but
yeah,
I've been talking about Shakir since we drafted him. Matter of fact, my buddy Curtis over at Ace Per Head, I told him when we drafted him, watch this guy. I'm telling you now. And he's like, who? Shakir, who? And I said, trust me, just pay attention. You'll get to know him. And sure enough, I remember he did a video like that year. It's like, my man Tommy told me about Khalil Shakir. And I'm like, yeah, you better keep saying I remember. Real quick before we move on, Mafia, Jay, do you want to come on? I can send you the link. Let me know if you want to join us. I have no problem with that. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, Scott comes and says Hamilton will be used as a spy. They'll also try to apply pressure and force Josh out of his comfort zone. Everybody tries to do that. Just because listen, the Ravens have one of the worst pass defenses through the first 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their offense is good, but their defense hasn't been what it's been through the years. They have a new defensive coordinator, and they lost guys. So we'll have to wait to see how this all plays out.
Yep.
Everybody said we was going to lose to the Cards. What happened? They said we're going to lose the Dolphins. What happened? Said the Jags have our numbers. What happened? Exactly. It's that way. At the end of the day, until someone comes out and shuts down what we're doing, I don't believe they can stop us.
Yeah, man. I think this puzzle is that we have on offense is I think defensive coordinators are having a tough time figuring out. We just have a lot of pieces to it. There's a lot of different pieces, and I don't think we're running anything crazy, right? Like, we're not doing any of these trick plays or running anything. We're just executing at a high level, and we're getting a lot of guys involved. And Josh Allen, let's be real, he's playing at a very high level, and he's playing very smart football. no turnovers except for the, no interceptions. Let's say he had the one fumble week 1. Other than that, he's played super clean.
Week 1.
Yeah, and he played super clean football. So, which I think a lot of people are surprised about that fact too, because I still heard, like, matter of fact, I was listening to Nightcap the other day with Shannon Sharp and Ocho, and they were talking about Josh Allen. And this kind of goes to show you, Mikey, that a lot of these guys that talk about, like, the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, they don't really watch. And the reason why I say that is because they said they're talking about the team, and this is like 2 days ago. And he was talking about Josh Allen. They're like, if you could just limit the turnovers. And I said, dude, are you watching?
Yeah, and they're like, the red zone turnovers. Josh Allen never has had a red zone turnover problem. He had a few last year, but that's not his thing.
Right. But I'm like, dude, guys, he is no intercept. What are you watching? Like, clearly you're not paying attention. You're just talking out your ass.
Have you noticed they stopped using interceptions when they talk about Josh Allen? They use turnovers now.
Yeah, now it's just turnovers.
Because he doesn't have any interceptions.
Right. The one big turnover week 1. We're going to week 4. Stop.
Yeah.
God, they just have to find something. That's all. Yeah. They have to find something to talk bad about, I guess. I don't know.
He comes in and says, we do it all. Who can really stop an offense that can run, pass, check down, and the defense with majority of 6th rounders? And listen, Sean McDermott knows how to put together a defense. Now he knows how to put together a regular season defense. I've yet to see him put together a playoff defense. That's the next step. Getting our guys to play this way in the playoffs.
Right. That's where me and Mikey big time agree on this team. We love McDermott. He's a great regular season head coach. He's a guy that can pull a team together when things aren't going so well, when injuries happen. Like, there's a lot of greatness really that comes from McDermott. Like, he picks the right coaching staff for the most part, except for a special teams coach. But it's the playoffs. That's where he starts to break a little bit, right? You see the cracks in McDermott's coaching, and he starts to fold under big moments, under pressure. Defense underperforms, and that's really on coaching, because why would it underperform when it hasn't underperformed all regular season? All of a sudden, now you get into playoffs, and now you're doing things you're not normally doing, and you're calling soft zones, and like, that's on coaching. And the players are going to just go by with what you call. So, hey, we got a guest, by the way. What up, Jay?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Billy Mafia? Let's go. Listen,
Jay's in the building.
You guys got me hyped. I love what you're saying. I'm telling you, Shakir, I said it in the beginning of my show, he's going to be a top 5 receiver. He's already kind of proven it since last year. You guys already said it. He caught 35 passes consecutively. No drops, no nothing, no fumbles, none of that. And the last person to do it was Michael Thompson in 2018. So
Michael Thomas,
a nobody in the NFL is making NFL records. Respect my man Khalil Shakir. He's going to be a top 5 receiver in this league. He's already kind of proven it. So let's go.
Yeah, let's do it, man. No, I gotta say, give it to Jay, because Jay always brings the high energy, man. That's why y'all gotta tune in on Wednesdays, man.
I'm that they bring Bills fan in the stadium screaming, hey, let's go.
I love where you're going with that. I would love if he gets the volume. I do think he could be a top 5 receiver.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it
to be considered a top 5. You need the volume.
You need it. Yeah, that's right.
Now, does he have the skill set to be a top 15, 10 receiver? I do believe so. I don't know if he'll ever truly get the volume in Buffalo to be that, because they've changed the way they want to do offense, and they want to do this. They want to spread me. I love it too. Like, me and Tommy have been watching these games. We're like, okay, I like that drive. Okay, I like that drive. Like, we text back and forth, and we're like, okay, I don't like that play. What is Dorsey doing here? Or what was Dayball doing here? But Joe Brady just seems to be in his bag with tons of motions.
And the thing is, he reminds me of Brian Daboll, because Brian Daboll really developed these plays and schemes for these chunk plays. He was in his bag too, where he'll come up with these trick plays and have the whole defense like, oh, even the coach is looking like, oh, how did you come up with that play? In his prime example with the first touchdown, with a little dump off to James Cook, nobody knew what to do on defense. Mm-hmm. They said, oh, James Cook is running an outlet, little quick wheel route. Nobody knew what to check him. That wasn't a player. That wasn't Josh Allen. That was solely on Joe Brady. So shout out to Joe Brady. I know we all praises on Josh Allen, the dog, offensive player of the week. James Cook, him too. Offense is on fire. Let's give praises to Joe Brady. He has this offense firing on all cylinders. And when I mean all cylinders, it means Josh Allen eating. James Cook is eating. The line is eating. The tight end's eating. The wide receiver room is eating. Everybody eats. And I know that was just a mantra. That was just a saying in the offseason. No, they're really playing it to the full extent. Everybody eats. And I said it on my show, Mafia Talk. Yo, Tommy already shot me out Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Tune in. You show love. We show love back. But I'm telling you, the team we have right now, anybody can have a game. Khalil Shakir had a great game. I'm still waiting on Curtis Samuel. He's going to have a 100-yard game. Dalton Kincaid, he's sleeping. He shines here and there. He's going to have a game. Who else? MVS, I'm sure he's going to have a light game, but Dawson Knox, he's going to have a game. Everybody's going to have a game. Let's keep this train running. The only true question is, when it comes to that halftime, middle of the season where defenses really get a good look on offenses and teams, and they make that adjustment. I am not worried at whatsoever. I am confident in Joe Brady and his team because I'm firing all cylinders, and I'm ready for them guys to make the switch. Because if our running game is that strong and looking that good, just imagine when Josh Allen takes over and does a spread offense.
So look, Jay, here's the deal, man. I get where you're going with the second half, and defenses get film on people and they adjust. I understand that, but there's really, and the difference between Dable, I understand where you're going with that a little bit, but here's the difference between Joe Brady's offense and Ken Dorsey and Dable. You said it right. It's more of a get everybody involved. Right, let's spread the ball around. Let's take what the defense is giving you. There's not like Dable and also running the football, right? Dable didn't do that well, and neither did Dorsey, right? They didn't really implement the running game, which really backfires on an offense in time because their teams aren't going to bite on play action passes, etc. Right? You got to also work the clock more. We didn't really work the clock under Dable and Dorsey, so that's one. Two. I don't know if this is something that defenses are going to have to adjust to. This is just pick your poison. So defenses every week, it's not something like we're doing something specifically, and they're going to go, oh, okay, they
stop.
Right.
We don't need Kincaid. We can hit everybody else.
Well, that's my point. So I don't know if they're going this is not a scheme where defense are going to be like, oh, we have to.
Every week
watch this guy. So yeah, so I don't see that. I don't think this is a crazy what's that word I'm looking for, Mikey? I don't think this is unbelievable rocket science offense. I just think it's being well executed, and defenses have a lot on their plate because we have a lot of guys that can make plays. So it's difficult because, man, who are you going to cover that week? Who are you going to pay attention to the most? And it's week to week a different person. As a matter of fact, it was 10 last week. So am I right there, Mikey? Am I right where I'm coming from?
You are, but you guys are missing the biggest key, the difference between Brady and Dable and Dorsey. Dorsey and Dable ran option routes. So everything. Mm-hmm. So Josh had to be on the same page as the receivers all the time. Brady's not running option routes. Brady's scheming routes, using motion to get guys open in his scheme to make it easy. So a lot of times when Josh would have to break down and run around is because when Dorsey ran option routes, one guy would go to the corner, one guy would go to the corner, one guy would go seam. So guys were all over the field. Now Brady's running these routes where they're all coming into Josh's view. He's not having to scan from one side all the way to the other. They're all coming into his view, so it's easier for him to make his decisions. He's giving them easy button throws.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. No, I'm with you there, Mike. Yeah, but I'm saying the running game was one thing that we definitely.
It was non-existent back then.
Well, I will say this though too. I will say this to kind of not totally right. Exactly. Mikey already knew where I was going with this.
I did.
We didn't have Cromer. We really didn't have the personnel either. Like you got to you can have the greatest coaches in the world that can help you out a little bit, but you still got to have the players to execute. And we just didn't have that for a while on the offensive line. Now we have it. And you also got obviously Cromer, who's going to even make them play at another higher level. So, so I'll kind of I won't totally bash on Dable for that. But I still think
one thing I liked about
the only Dable was, I think Dable was more fun ball, and you can't always play that way
because he had the trick plays.
Like, yeah, but you can't always do that.
He's the reason why he'll have. Let's pitch it to Cole Beasley, and he throws a bomb to John Brown. Or let's pitch it to Isaiah McKenzie. He throws Josh Allen a touchdown. Like he had the trick plays that blew everybody. Like, oh wow. Now with the Joe Brady offense, where we don't necessarily need the trick plays, we just have a phenomenal scheme. Prime example was the first touchdown where you have two motions. You motion somebody and you motion Curtis Samuel go around Josh Allen and James Cook. Yeah, you motion James Cook from one side to another. Then you did a double motion with Curtis Samuel to go wrap around them two. And he just confuses the defense and it gives everything Josh Allen needs to know about your defense and what you're running. Now, when we run a motion and nobody moves for the Ravens, obviously you're running zone. Now, some teams will run a mixture of zone and man. Now, but I'm so confident in Josh Allen and the years he's learned. 7 years Josh Allen has under the belt. Whatever defense y'all throw at him, I'm confident he will learn and will strive and will succeed against. He proved it multiple years. So, I don't know. I don't want to get to another ramble, but all I'm saying, like, I trust this team and I trust this coaching staff. Joe Brady, I just feel like he really knows what he's doing until we come to an opponent where it kind of just stumps them. And we're just kind of waiting on that game where
I don't think it's going to be a stump thing. I think it's if we and it will be a game, and we can't
we don't execute.
Exactly. We can't be unrealistic.
We still going 20-0. I don't care.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Not every game is going to be perfectly ran, and not every like I said, there's going to be mistakes made in the game. It happens. Hopefully it doesn't, but it's in reality, it's going to happen. But no, I just think through the first 3 weeks, I mean, really, if you think about it, right, the first week we ran, we executed, but we made mistakes that cost us early on. Yeah. So that can happen again. It will. I mean, it's just no one's perfect. So I'm just throwing that out there. And I don't know if that's going to be a defensive thing making us mistakes. It's just sometimes, it's on you. You make
Josh misses the throw. Penalty.
Yeah, player runs the wrong way. A penalty. Yeah. Exactly. It happens, man. But right now, I love it. I love what Joe Brady's doing. Like you said, and I've said it a million times.
Even when it comes to
coach speak, right?
I'm still confident in his team to make those adjustments. When we run into that team that has our number, we thought the Jags had our number. We ran through.
No, I didn't.
And every time we played them and they beat us, they didn't have our number. We beat ourselves. Every time we played the Jags, we beat ourselves and let them win.
I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. No, I don't. I think. Listen, I think any given Sunday, and I think that if you go back in those first two games, it was a little bit coaching. So the 9-6 game, it was too fun ball. Right, too much fun ball, and all they did was pressure us. And you got to give them credit. You got to give the defense coordinator credit, and he outbeat our offense coordinator, plain and simple. And we had no answers for their defense. You can't say we stubbed our own foot. That was the coaching. That was Brian Dable, right. And then when we lost again in London, you could put that on Sean McDermott for getting to the team there late, right? You could blame that on Ken Dorsey once again for playing fun ball. So there's a lot of things. But you got to also sometimes give the other team credit. And I think they played very well. I think their defense came to play, especially in that 9-6 game. And you just got to tip your cap. But I don't think they had our number. It was just they played better on that Sunday. That's all. Now, if you want to talk about the Chiefs in the playoffs having our number, then you know what? I'm good with it. They do. And so, they do.
They have our defensive number. They have our defensive number.
Yeah, right.
I don't feel like they have our number because I don't know. I want to talk to somebody who watches. I want to talk to a Chiefs fan because my whole ideology on that is that do not the Bills play the Chiefs the hardest? If
they do.
We do, but that don't. But look, that don't mean nothing. Look, it don't mean nothing. At the end of the day, Jay, but it don't matter. At the end of the day, you got to win. A win is a win, is like L's and L's.
I feel you. I get it.
Okay. All right. So
now, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
The Bills have beat the Chiefs. They just haven't done it in the postseason yet.
The most important part.
It's not just that. Is that
say what you want.
Falter in the fourth quarter towards our defense.
Dude, it's not just the fourth quarter. Last year, they ate us from snap one because we had no linebackers, and Sean McDermott likes to play that soft zone.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. Every time we play them, we're depleted in the playoffs.
Look, man, here's the deal.
AJ Klein checking the best tight end in the league. What can you do?
Well, Jay, that's on our coaches for scheming it up to where AJ Klein's on the best tight end in the league.
Right.
Yeah, come up with a better scheme.
It comes down to coaching. It comes down to execution.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but they have our number until proven otherwise in the playoffs. Those are facts.
Obviously, I'm still mad. Okay, leave me alone.
I'm mad too. You don't think but look, here's the deal. We're in a new season. We're a new offense, right? We have the same defense, but with a different coordinator, and we got Sean McDermott, who's now being a head coach instead of doing two different things and being defense coordinator head coach. Last year, I thought that kind of derailed him a little bit. At least in my eyes. Now, I think when Bobby Babbage took over this year, now Bobby Babbage can concentrate on the defense. Sean McDermott can concentrate on the offense, on the head coaching, and you got full control of Joe Brady doing what he needs to do. And he brought in his guys to help him. He's not working with Ken Dorsey's guys, so it's a whole new coaching staff, really, in a way. So we are kind of a different team with young players. So it is a different season, same head coach, but different coaching staff.
Let me just say this real quick because it doesn't matter. I remember I listened to WGR, and he always want to talk about weapons. It doesn't matter what weapons you have as long as you got that freaking nuke. I don't want to cuss here, but Josh Allen is that nuke where he will end it all. It doesn't matter what weapons you have. You have this, you have that, you have a bomb, guns, this and that. It doesn't matter what weapons you have. As long as you got Josh Allen, JA-17, as the nuke, and let him strive and perform the way he needs to be with no chains and being held bent or have to worry about your star receiver and feed him his stats. All of that is out the way. No distractions. Josh Allen is the only alpha on this team, and that's what we needed to be. With Stephon Diggs, and I hate bringing him up because we're over it. We're 3 weeks in. He's with his team. We still got our team. Let's stop this Stephon Diggs narrative where anything Josh Allen says has to be something against Diggs. No, Josh Allen doesn't care about Stephon Diggs. He cares about this team and the people that's on his team. He loves him. He cares about him. He don't give two whatevers about Stephon Diggs.
Jay, I hate to break the bad news to you, but
it's the Mafia.
No. Listen, Jay.
Talk to me.
No, it's not. Listen,
Talk to me.
This is going. The Stephon Diggs thing's not going to go away until the season ends. It's okay though. It's part of the story, right? At the NFL, listen. It's you have storylines in a way, even though it's real. It's not wrestling, but there's storylines everywhere, right? And that's one of them this year is the Bills and Stephon Diggs. Can Josh Allen win without Stephon Diggs? Can Stephon Diggs win without? And that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. It's a little bit of fun. It's something to talk about. But at the end of the day, you're right. Of course, the players don't really like. That's not what they're thinking about. Like Josh
has to tread lightly.
Yeah.
On interview, because anything he says is automatic a shot at Diggs. Where Josh don't care about that. Like he loves him and respect Diggs, but not everything he says is a slight on Diggs.
Yeah, Well,
I do get you, Tommy. I do get it.
Yeah. So let's
it's football and it's clickbait.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. So look, man, all 45 of y'all in here right now, man, do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's move on. Let's move on to
holding it down.
Yeah, man. Let's move on to what's in hand this weekend. It's Sunday night. Sunday Night Football. We got another primetime game. It's 3 in a row. Mikey, let's start with you, man. What do we got to do?
So we want to start with the keys of the game. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
I mean, I got something too later that we could do, which is the 6 things to watch for.
Yeah.
But let's go to the keys of the game.
All right, keys of the game. We'll start with the defense. It's it's contain Lamar. It's collapse the pocket and don't overrush. I don't know if you watched last week and if you caught AJ Epinesa wasn't rushing, full on at Lawrence. He stopped and he contained him inside the pocket, and then he made him rush the throw. That's what you have to do with Lamar, because if you give him a crack, he's going to be out the back door. We've done this before, and McDermott seems to have one of the better defenses to contain Lamar, but it's going to be that. The second one is going to have to stop Derrick Henry. We're going to have to continue tackling as good as we did last week. It's actually one of the benefits of the 2 linebackers that we have starting this week is they're actually better run defenders than they are pass defenders.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how and what scheme the Ravens deploy. Do they go to the pass game because they're going to try to put those linebackers in conflict, or are they going to run the ball? And then on the offensive side, it's continue doing what you're doing. Keep the motion, give Josh the easy button throws, let Josh be the general back there. And then when he has that chance, let it go, bud. We haven't seen him really uncork one yet this year. At some point, he's gonna.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think
Josh don't look bored though. He does not.
It has nothing to do with being bored. Listen, when you win, it don't matter, right? Winning is what matters at the end of the day, right? And having fun. So the team's having fun. The offense is looking good. The defense has done their job. I agree, though. I think here's the deal, man. You need to make Baltimore one-dimensional. Once you stop Derrick Henry, or at least slow him down, and also get a lead. If you get an early lead and start building up on that lead, you're going to force the Baltimore Ravens to throw. Lamar Jackson, hey, I'll take that all day. If he's forced to throw, that's his weakest part of his game. Let's be real. We're going to be real here. Let's be real. But if you get that lead, you slow down, at least slow down Derrick Henry. I don't know if we're ever going to truly, or no, it's really going to just contain him so great. But if you can really kind of just keep him to a certain amount of yards, slow him down, limit them to 3 points, right? Not touchdowns, kind of like a bend, don't break a little bit, which we've been known to do, and that's fine. But if we build that lead, Mikey, that's what it's all about. You build the lead, force them to throw, force Lamar to be one-dimensional. Yeah. And that's what will ultimately win this game. At least in my opinion, that's how we win this game. But yeah, man.
Spence says it here, the line's beat up. So our interior, it's going to come down to our D-line. Can our D-line get pressure, and clog up the run lanes? That's what it comes down to. Ravens ass whooping, another Vaughn sack, 4 games in a row. If Vaughn gets a sack, it'll be the first time in franchise history to start a season off with a sack in the first 4 games by a player. That's a cool little nugget. I didn't know about that one. Did you?
No, I did not.
No, that's a real cool nugget.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, no problem. We'll keep going through here. Amy asks, have I changed my mind yet? You'll find out at the end of the show. But if you've listened to anything I've said so far, you kind of have a feeling which way I'm leaning. When I originally made the prediction, I didn't know what our offense was going to be. And I haven't seen anything from our offense so far that concerns me or has put us in any real conflict.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think, like I said at the start of the season, I think that's why you had it that way. Is because you didn't know, like, you knew what his philosophy was going into the season, but you just didn't know if it was going to, work. And if Josh Allen and the rest of the team is going to buy into it. Also, the execution. Once again, you got to execute, right? Execution is everything.
Well, we were talking about philosophy. I didn't realize we were going to be running, 85% motion. Like, we didn't see that. Like, even last year, he didn't motion that much,
Yeah.
And you could see the wrinkles that he's brought in this year versus last year, which is a big thing for us.
No, I agree.
Roy comes and says the Ravens only missing their left guard. Their center's also banged up and has been out of practice most of this week. And I believe one of their tackles is banged up. He's going to play, but they're not 100%.
Yeah, they're a little banged up, man. But once again, I don't want to hear no excuses. We're banged up.
Yeah. I'm just saying. What I'm saying on the offensive line is our defensive line needs to dominate them. If they're coming in banged up, we need them to step up and continue doing what they have been doing.
I agree. I totally agree.
As long as our defense can keep them at bay, we'll be fine. As Baltimore's defense has not looked as great and lost. Now, don't get me wrong. Baltimore still has some studs on the defense side of the ball. I think it's also partly that they lost their defensive coordinator and they're still learning certain things. They've also lost a few players. You know what I mean? So it's going to come down to, is our offensive line going to continue to give Josh the time? If he continues to get the time and they continue to protect him the way they have the first 3 games, nobody can cover for that long.
Right. Yeah. So go ahead with that.
Amy says, I was late. Better than never. Let's go Buffalo. We can throw right down the middle. Use Kincaid, Shakir like we used Beasley. I love the way they're doing things. Everything seems to be, mesh routes and rub routes and getting guys open. And that's what the scheme does.
Yeah. It's funny, man. We got to, I know we're going to go a little off topic with this conversation, but that's what we do here anyways. I got to talking to you the other day, I think yesterday, actually, Mikey, and we were talking about our draft picks and we were talking about Keon Coleman. And I was telling you, like, I just, I hope Bills Mafia's can be patient with Keon Coleman, because I think it's going to, I don't think we're going to see the full, what we want to see from Keon Coleman in year 1. You may not even see it year 2, like the full, what we expect out of him, what we can possibly see. And we went back and we were talking about our draft picks. And if you really think about it, a lot of our draft picks, guys, have been this way, which is kind of a project type of player in a way, or a guy that, hey, it's going to take a year or 2 or 3 even to really start to see the full potential and see what they saw when they drafted him, right? What they saw in when they were visiting them in college, right? What the scouts saw on them. So, I mean, if you look at down the line, Mikey, right? Spencer Brown, Teron. I mean, you can name them. I mean, we can keep going down the list. Gregory Rousseau, really, it was a project type of player.
Took a few years to get going.
Gabe Davis took a while to keep going. Devin Singletary wasn't
Ed
supposed
Oliver.
to make this stuff. Even though Ed Oliver's top 10 pick, I guess he's kind of borderline on it. But you're right, it did. But I'm talking about, I'm with you there. So I would say the majority, even Josh Allen, if you really want to go that route,
Took him year 3.
I mean,
he broke out.
It took till 2020, and really for him to start to really figure things out or start to, really turn the corner. So I got to give credit to Brandon Beane for a lot of this, because us as fans, I think we're really quick to be like, oh, bad pick, or like, and I'm guilty of it too. You know what I mean? Or like
Dorian Williams. We
Bernard,
crushed him on draft night.
Right.
Crushed him on draft night.
Exactly. I'm sure there's even more, right? We're just like not picking them right now. So my point is, man, you just guys, I think sometimes we got to like just relax on the whole, that pick's a bust, bad pick. You know what I mean? Because some of these players are going to take a little bit of time to develop. And I think they do it on I really think Brandon Beane understands that going in when they're drafting these guys. Like, I think they go, okay, you know what? It may take a little bit of time, but that's okay. Like, we got this guy. Now, there's some that don't work out. I get that. Ford didn't work out. Justin Short didn't work out. Like, there were certain guys that they were kind of sold or hot. Boogie Basham, that they were high on, like that thought they, maybe saw something in, and it just didn't happen, but that's okay. I would say overall, though, when you're really starting to look at the draft picks now, man, like a lot of these guys are working out, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, when we revisit these drafts, like, and we'll probably do it in the offseason, me and Mikey again. We'll do like an episode, a show or something on that.
We'll do a draft one.
Yeah, you're going to really be pleasantly surprised on how many of you, especially late round picks, are actually really starting to work out. Now, contributors working out, depth guys. Yeah.
I'm not sure we've had very many superstars out of that.
No.
But we definitely had contributors, starters.
I'm talking about
a couple all pros.
Yes.
out of those groups. Rory comes in and says, do you honestly believe Coleman can be a true number one? I'm not buying it. It's hard to say I'm not buying it 3 weeks into his career. Give the guy some time. He has the potential to be a one. It's a matter of, can he get there?
That was my point, Roy. I guess where I was going with it, with especially with Keon Coleman. Like, there's certain players I think you gotta, because let's be real. Let's really be real here. If we wanted to do that, like, we don't know about Keon. A lot of people were saying that about Josh Allen after year 2.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. Now, some of us, of course, Bills Mafia, no, that's our quarterback, and that's normal, right? Like, it's a home, it's your quarterback. You're going to kind of see all the good. But most of the people outside of Buffalo never thought Josh Allen was going to have a good completion percentage. They thought his accuracy sucked after 2 years. They didn't think he was ever going to be a top 5 quarterback. This is all real. I'm being honest with you guys. So he could have literally after 2019, there was people going, Josh Allen will never get this team like far into the playoffs. You saw what he did against the Texans. He's a turnover machine. He's this, he's that. So I'm just throwing that out there. You got to be patient with some of these guys and let them. Now, I'm not saying Keon Coleman, he's going to turn around and be Josh Allen is going to be this unbelievable receiver, but just be patient with him. That's all. Go ahead, Mikey.
We got a super chat. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Maury, man. We appreciate it. Just showing support for you guys. Always appreciate the support. The best way to support us is to hit the like button.
And subscribe if you're new.
Hey, I did it. Coleman just turned 21. Of course he can. You have to remember, they also said Josh Allen, if he succeeded and became what he did, he would debunk math altogether. Because no prospect had ever done it, and then Josh did it.
Yeah. I also think, too, though, the way you got to remember, too, the offense, the way it's structured right now. If maybe Coleman was on a team where it wasn't structured like this and there wasn't really any receivers, he was the true number one because there really wasn't.
The Giants, Malik Neighbors, he's getting
exactly
18 targets a game.
Right. Now, at this point, I do think Neighbors is ahead, but he's also look where he was drafted. Like he. Come on, let's be real here too. It's all about where you're drafting. A lot of these top 10 receivers, top 15, like they're showing why they were drafted in that category. Some receivers are going to take some time. So, but my point is, if maybe Coleman was on another roster and they were just feeding him and chucking him the ball all the time, maybe his numbers would look more impressive at this point. But that's not what we're doing here. And maybe next year, when he starts to develop more, he'll get more targets. more, get that trust from Josh. But I think it's already starting to come. If you saw last week, right, touchdown, he could have went a different direction. He could have went Shakir. He could have went to Kike. Like that was
a couple other times too.
Yeah, but that was drawn up. Exactly. But that was drawn out. I think that play there was specifically drawn up for Keon Coleman. Right?
It was also a counter off of a play they ran earlier where it wasn't Coleman, it was MVS ran that route because Coleman was benched for the first quarter. And he has a hook in the middle. This time they just let him continue running. And it opened up.
Yeah. Yep. It was it was a perfect pass, perfect catch. Executed well, touchdown. I mean,
I'll tell you, Roy, I can understand you say how the game gives you Gabe Davis vibes. His hands are so much better and his body control. Like I trust Gabe. I trust Coleman way more than I ever trusted Gabe. Gabe Davis catches about 50% of the balls thrown to him.
Oh yeah. Yep. I would say the only knock on Roy, the only knock that I saw, because I did plenty of film because I wanted Keon Coleman. So I wanted to make sure before I did my video on why the Bills should draft Coleman, I knew all his flaws and his strengths. His number one strength was his high catchability and catching 50-50 balls. His hands are excellent. Gabe Davis is never really known for having these great hands. Now, I'm not saying Gabe Davis has terrible hands, but Keon Coleman's it's way different, right? His hands are way better, and he's just. I think at this stage I think they're two different players. They do two different skill sets, in my opinion, on what they do between Keon Coleman and Gabe Davis. So no, I think they're different. I think Keon could develop better than Gabe.
That was my concern, Spen, was Coleman's separation. I liked everything about Coleman's game, except I didn't like how he separated in college. And you can tell he spent the offseason working on the separation.
Yo, we back.
Yo. What up? Yeah, you were echoing.
Quick, I just want to talk about Matt Collins real quick. Because I rewatched the game, and Matt Collins is everything we got from Gabe Davis. When I rewatched that game, Matt Collins secured the block on that James Cook touchdown. He secured the block on another Keon Coleman touchdown because when the blitzer came in, Matt Collins picked up the blitz to allow Josh Allen to throw that touchdown. Same thing as Ray Davis. Ray Davis picked up a block. One linebacker came in and blitzed. No, if I'm not mistaken, a lineman broke loose, came in, he hit the lineman, dropped him down, and the blitzing linebacker came around.
Yeah, I saw that.
Over him. He took two guys out to secure a touchdown for Josh Allen. So shout out to the blocking of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, well, that's why.
That's all I want to say.
So yeah, no problem. Jay, hey, you're echoing, so I'm gonna let you go on that because you're bad feedback. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump in and out. I'm in a.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right. All right, brother. Later. But to piggyback off that, Jay's right. I got to say this too, and me and you talked about this to start the season. We got really big at receiver and more physical, right? And the reason being is just what Jay was talking about: blocking for James Cook, blocking for receivers downfield, just playing more physical, and then also everybody buying in to what they have to do to get this offense rolling. That's what it's about, right? Everyone bought in. I keep saying that. I don't think you guys realize how important that is because not every player in the NFL buys into their team. There's some superstar players, they don't buy into the scheme, right? If they're me guys or they're just not part of it. Like they don't want to do the dirty things. They don't want to do the little things to make the offense roll or the defense.
Yep.
And you got to have players like that. And sometimes they're not going to show up on the stat sheet. And he's right. Matt Collins, I don't know if he showed up really on the stat sheet last week. Great, anything unbelievable. But he did stuff that made the offense roll. That got us a touchdown. That got us more yards. That got, yards after catch. Like little things like that. And that's what I like about this team, that everyone's bought into what they need to do. And that's awesome. It's really, really awesome to see.
Yeah, Mac had 1 for 16, but
Yeah.
he was blocking. But it's not just Mac. We have the same thing with Knox. Knox is getting 1 pass a game, but he's blocking. Coleman is getting one pass a game, but he's blocking. So it's one of those things that they've bought in. Or Coleman ran the clear out route that led to Shakir's touchdown.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
like Josh could have put it up as a 50-50 ball for Coleman in the end zone, but Shakir was, he had him underneath, so he took it.
Yeah.
And, the block down by the end zone. So it's a team effort that we're seeing this year.
Absolutely. And I think that's on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And on both sides of the ball.
You see it after like an interception or a turnover, like that defense, they all are out there celebrating.
They're all, bro, I'm telling you, they're all bought in to, I think it's,
2020 is what it reminds me of.
It really does, man. I was just about to say that. Because, man, like I loved all these teams previous. No, like I'm not going to knock all these any years prior. But man, like I just feel like they're really bought in and they're having fun. Like they're really they're just like it is like a family. Like it just feels like that 2020 season all over again with just when Stephon Diggs just got here and Allen and him were just on the same page and Cole Beasley, like everybody was bought in, right, to that
John
2020
Brown was
season.
That deep threat.
We
had all the different type of receivers. This year, Josh has talked about, he's like, we have different types of receivers as we have bigger guys, and I have to get used to that. But the way Joe Brady's dialing it up, it's allowing Josh to pick and choose where he wants to go with the ball, which is working. And Josh is making really smart decisions. I love this comment by Trek. We're +7 in turnover differential and +64 in point differential. And that's why you're 3-0.
Absolutely. I mean, that speaks volumes. And you better be 3-0 with that.
That's fantastic.
There's a lot of trouble going on if you're not 3-0 with that. Mikey, I do want to get to something before we guys. We could be in on here an hour, so and we like being with you guys. So it's. I'm not trying to rush us off, but 6 things to watch for in this week 4 matchup versus the Ravens. Shout out to Bills Wire. We like doing these things because they're fun, and also we can get to some different. We can go down different topics, that we didn't think of. All right, here we go. Another primetime outing could be good. The Bills are going to be on primetime once again, Mikey. Buffalo will be in Baltimore for Sunday Night Football. That comes after their last 2 outings were on Thursday and Monday. It still just seems like yesterday that the Bills never got a sniff off a single primetime game, let alone 3 straight. But this one in particular could be good for the Bills. With quarterback Josh Allen under center, the team is 6-1, Mikey, all time on Sunday Night Football. So what do you think about that?
I didn't realize we were 6-1 on Sunday night. I also didn't realize we were 7-0 on Thursday night either in the Josh Allen era. So
it's the Monday nights we're not too great in.
It'll be interesting to see. I like the matchup. Also, if we can get the win here, man, that puts Baltimore in a bad spot. 1-3 to open the season.
That's not
ideal.
Especially in a real AFC is tough. AFC is tough. We all know the deal.
Division in the North is tough.
Right. It's that's not a great start at all. But I don't give a shit about their start. I just need a win, and we move on to the next opponent, which will be the Texans. Let's move on. Unless we've got a comment. Any comments before we go on?
We got a comment in here that says,
go ahead.
Hey, Tommy, drop. I know, but it might be. It was a concerning drop, but there's only been one. So, very much like when Bass missed the field goal where he said, we're not going to kill him yet. You know what I mean? But it's still like it's in the back. It's in that Rolodex in the back of your mind. Right. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I was a little upset with it on, Monday night.
He had his hands like this.
I mean,
you're never going to
put your elbows together and you're going to catch it. He was also full speed. He was also full speed. So it's not an easy catch by any means. But
I get it.
he was drafted for his receiver prowess.
Right.
So
And it seems like, I gotta say too, it seems like every James Cook, like the ones he's dropping, are fucking touchdown passes. Right? Like everyone, right? It's not like a 5-yard he dropped it. It's a touchdown. It's like, James Cook, come on, man.
every
like,
time he dropped it, it's a touchdown. You're right.
Right. Like, bro, come on. Like, dude. And we're lucky because it was no harm, no foul because we got a touchdown right after.
Shakir.
Like the very next play. So, but I tell you what, I would have been like, we don't talk about it because we scored a touchdown. But I promise you,
if we
don't score a touchdown there, or we missed a field goal, or something bad happened, oh boy, James Cook would have got. I'm telling you, we would have had that conversation all week about James Cook dropping a potential touchdown.
Yeah, it's just James Cook is where we got it right here. James Cook is maintaining his form and dropping TDs, and now he's under.
Listen, I just want to talk about James Cook right now. Before I even ask the question, who would you rather prefer, James Cook or Devin Singletary? Mikey, go ahead.
Oh, Mikey. It's a good question. Jay coming with the serious questions. Oh, I can't hear you, Mikey.
Yeah, think about it. What's going on?
I don't know.
I'll take James Cook.
There he is.
Okay.
For the reason of his explosiveness. I love Devin and I love his thing. The problem that Devin has is he doesn't have that next gear, the explosive gear.
Now, counter that question where was it his line fault? Because there have been multiple games where I see him break 2 tackles in the backfield just to get a positive gain. So with the Devin Singletary with this line, do you think he'll be outperform a James Cook, or
not
Cook is all the way?
Not in this offense. This offense is built with James Cook in mind. You know, if you want to look at what Devin Singletary would do in this type of offense, look at Ray Davis. Ray Davis is very much built like the way Devin Singletary was built.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm with Mike.
We still have that 1-2 there. Like, I love Singletary. Me and Tommy were talking about this last night. I missed the guy. He was a fantastic Buffalo Bill. I don't think he got the credit that he deserved while he was here.
Right.
However, I'm not sure that he fits what the team needs today.
Yeah, I'm with Mikey there.
With James Cook and Ray Davis backup, you think that's a better 1-2 punch compared to Singletary and Zach Moss?
Oh, God, yes.
Yes, not even close.
Oh, God, yes. Zach Moss did not fit Buffalo's offense. Now, would Zach Moss fit Joe Brady's offense? Maybe. He didn't fit the Brian Daboll, Ken Dorsey offense at all.
At all. And I felt like that was a mess. I just felt like that was a whole mess.
But we also had really bad offensive line coaches that didn't gel. We never, made guys better. Like, you look at Spencer Brown by himself. Under Cromer, this raw clay that we drafted in the 3rd round has become one of the better right tackles in football.
And I want his jersey. I want him out the building. Spencer Brown, I wanted him to retire, get out the building, but no. With Osiris Torrance next to him, the man is phenomenal. Like, shout out to Spencer Brown. Mafia, stand up for Spencer Brown. 3 games without allowing a sack. 35 snaps without allowing the pressure. Shout out to Spencer Brown. He's a dog.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to give him his flowers. He's
protecting
Josh Allen. And another one, I feel like we don't give enough praises to Deion Dawkins, the mother freaking snowman.
Yeah.
Who's been protecting the best quarterback in the league for over 7 years? There's Deion Dawkins, number 76. He's been locking it down for years, and I feel like he's so underrated. He does not get the love he deserves. He's been in the community. He does so much. Shout out to Deion Dawkins. I mean, he protects his blind side. I mean, that's the most important role in the offensive line.
Our offensive line has finally come together, and that's credit to Brandon Beane for finally waking up and understanding you have to have an offensive line in the NFL, a good one, to make to have a complete offense, to make an offense actually do what you want it to do, which is score points and run the ball. And I feel like right now this offensive line, I don't think it's still not perfect, but I think it's heading in the right direction. And I think if they keep this offensive line group the way it is, right, then it will get even better as the seasons go on, because you got continuity. Right now, you finally got a guy next to Deion Dawkins and Edwards. It's been there last year. Okay, cool. And then you got McGovern at center. You got Osiris Torrance another year next to Spencer Brown. So Spencer Brown, Osiris Torrance, they're both working against with each other now for multiple seasons. Now you got David Edwards, same thing, next to Deion Dawkins, right? So that's what we need. Hopefully no injuries, knock on wood. Then you will start seeing this offensive line really, really play at an even higher level. But right now they're really clicking.
You want to hear the best part about all of that? And yes,
Ben,
the hiring of Cromer is what was key, because he brought in his guys and allowed Bean to go out and get the guys that he needed to build this out. But we have guys signed through 2025. This line right now, these 5 are together all the way through next season. Yeah. So going into next year is the same 5. And then we have the bookends until 2027, 2028 with Josh. We have Cybo for another 2 years. We have McGovern for another 2 years after that. So like this line,
I'm in love.
Yep, this line has been set up to be together for a while.
Yep. Let's get to the next thing while we're on this, and then we'll get to some more comments.
Am I echoing?
No, it was Jay.
It was Jay. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was telling Jay. Like he's echoing. Okay. Hey Jay, I'm gonna let you go because you're echoing really, really bad. Okay. It's probably the room you're in, buddy. All right. Let's get to the next one.
Go ahead.
All right. Here we go. Josh and Lamar do battle. Drafted in the same draft class. It's always going to be the case when the Bills and Ravens do battle. Allen and Lamar Jackson were the 2 quarterbacks from the 2018 NFL draft class that were the most overlooked. That is true. Now they're looking like the best 2. When such talents face each other, everyone is going to compare them head to head. Mikey?
Yeah. My take?
Yeah.
I think Lamar has the 2 MVP trophies. Josh has the success in the playoffs, better stats in the playoffs. I think they're both fantastic, and they're doing great things for their franchises. I think we need to stop trying to compare the 2. They're different type of players.
Way different.
And everyone wants to say, oh, well, Josh is this and Lamar is that, and Josh is better than Lamar. Lamar is better because he has 2 MVPs. I think we need to stop all that foolishness and just, be happy we have this many great quarterbacks in the league, and ours is one of them.
Yeah, I think. Listen, man. I think Lamar's a really good player. I think where the Ravens drafted him, he's a steal. Okay,
I thought he should have been top 10.
But with that being said, I don't think he's the greatest. I don't think he's the greatest pass thrower. Like I think he struggles at times with his passing, and that's what will limit that. That's what limits him, I believe. Like that's where defenses can kind of, when they spy on him, when they take that part of the game away from him, and he's strictly just kind of running the ball, is where he gets himself a little bit in trouble. He has the pieces. And I still feel like they surrounded him, and he's still, like, remember last year, like, oh, he never had weapons. They added weapons. He still is. I haven't seen any difference in his play, right? His accuracy, his coming up big and big passing game. Like, I like his game. I do. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but I don't think he's up there with Allen. Like, right now, man, like, if we're going to be real, it's Mahomes and Allen. These are the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't think there's a debate anymore right now, at least in my eyes. I think Burrow's damn good. I think there's a lot of really, really good quarterbacks. I think there's a lot of young quarterbacks that are on that are ascending. I mean, there really is. I think Stroud's on his way up there. There's a lot of good The Green Bay quarterback. Like, I think there's a lot of guys. Yeah, Love. I think there's a lot of guys that are ascending, but I don't think they're I don't think they're near what Mahomes and Allen brings to their team. Like, I just don't. I think they're elite.
I personally like Allen's game better than I like Lamar's. But look, we need to stop the Lamar's not a thrower thing. Lamar throws the ball just fine. Lamar showcased in an offense that throws the ball. Lamar is in a run first system.
Yes, but when it comes down to certain games where he needs to throw, he's had some tough times. He's had some games where he just doesn't come up in the bigger moments when he needs to take over and throw the ball. I've seen it. I've watched him play. I've seen games that, and I'm not saying, once again, this is not a knock on. This is not, you got to remember too, the Michael Vick thing. We talked about this years ago. There was a whole thing on him too. Michael Vick was an excellent quarterback. Really, really good. But when it came down to it, and by the way, he had a really good arm, but that wasn't his strong point. His passing wasn't his strong point. His legs were, right? He was a good player, solid player. And I think Lamar is better than Vic in passing, but I also think he's not up there with the Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes, and the passing department. I think he's good, but I don't think he's
not an elite thrower.
That's where my point is.
Okay, I got you.
And when it comes down to certain games where he needs to be, that's where I think that's where it hurts him a little bit, because it's tough, man. You got to sometimes be in that moment when you got to be an elite quarterback in all phases. And I think that phase of his game kind of hurts him at certain points of games. You saw what we did in the playoff game against him. You saw what he did when he goes against certain teams. He struggles. He throws interceptions. Like, something about him in certain moments too, when it's passing has to do with it, he tends to fall a little bit short, right? But I like him. I do. I'm not knocking him. He's a 2-time MVP. Clearly, he's a good quarterback. I just think Josh is on a different level, and I think Mahomes is on a different level. But that's 2 quarterbacks out of many.
Yeah, going back to what Ravens guy was saying here, says, I already know what we're going to be doing. You're all giving up 5.6 yards a carry. Can't look at those stats. Outside of week 1, when we let them run the ball early, we shut them down the second half.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 weeks, we only played the first half. The second half was just don't give up big please, give them yards. It's fine. So we'll see how it all turns out.
Yeah, if you look at the overall, a lot of those stats were towards the end there when teams were just running. Late in the fourth quarter, also when we pull players. Like, but once again, I will say this: you guys have a hell of a running back, and you have Lamar Jackson, and I think you're going to
run on.
You're going to get yours. You're going to run. You're going to get. But our whole thing is, stopping you from getting in the end zone, right? Because we're a bend don't break at times. We tend to allow teams sometimes to roll down the field a little bit, and then we tighten up a little bit on defense. We always play that way. So we'll see. But I also got to say too, y'all haven't been running the ball as much as I thought you were. So we'll see what you guys do this game. But I thought you guys were going to get Henry way more involved early on than you have been. But that's just me. I don't know. I thought I just.
You're talking about one of the trap games when you're playing someone you're supposed to just dog walk.
Right.
Right before you play someone who's really good.
Yeah, like if you play the Bears or like who's on our schedule, it might be a trap game. Like is Tennessee this year? Do we play Tennessee this year?
I think so.
I gotta look at this.
We have to look at it, but yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's gonna be like some games there that are trap games that you could. Yeah, so we do play Tennessee. We play Tennessee right after the Jets. That's a trap kind of game.
Who do you play? Who do you play after the Tennessee? Because that's where
Seattle, and then you got. I mean, but Seattle could be a dangerous team. So I don't know if you really.
I'm not
consider
calling that
Colts after Miami.
Yeah, so if we were playing the Chiefs after we were playing, them, I would say, okay, we might be overlooking them after Chiefs. That's where you get that trap.
You know who might be? I'll tell you who might be. Out of all the schedule that I'm looking at. We play home against the Chiefs. We play home against the 49ers. And then we go on the road at the Rams.
Rams,
and that's,
I wouldn't call them. I don't think we're supposed to dog walk the Rams, though.
That's what I'm saying. But coming off 2 back-to-back really tough opponents, right, at home, and the Chiefs and the 49ers, and you're heading to LA, and by then, this is December 8th, Mikey. They're probably going to be healed up by then. They're probably going to have some of their guys returning by then, right? So I'm just saying but that's a game we should win, right?
Trap is when you're talking about trap game, is a team that you're supposed to beat and beat badly right before you play. So you're overlooking them before you play somebody else, not because you came off of 2.
I still think that could be.
That's a trap.
I still think that could be a trap.
Okay. We can agree to disagree on that. Let's move on to your next one.
Yep. All right. And there, the guy we were talking about, Derrick Henry. However,
he's still there. So mad we didn't get him.
Yeah, I called for him a million times, and I said, why not? It's not like they way overpaid this guy. Like, he got his word. I think it was a brilliant signing. Anyways, however, while the Bills offense just has Allen under the star status category, the Ravens do not just have Jackson. Baltimore signed running back Derrick Henry this offseason. That 2-headed monster is going to be a tough battle for any defense, despite the Ravens' current record. Not to mention Henry had his moments against the Bills, which we know of, which he was with the Tennessee Titans, Josh Norman, stiff arm, etc. He's had some massive runs against the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, the Josh Norman play will be forever in NFL highlights. And yeah, he's had some the one he took it to the house where he just steamroll everybody right up the middle and just slightly holding that it wasn't called, but that's all right. Listen, Derrick Henry is an absolute beast, and that's why I wanted to sign him. Yes, he's getting older, but he still has a lot in the tank, in my opinion. You could still see it this season. He's a dog, man, and that's why I wanted him. He's just different. Is there any other Derrick Henrys out there, Mikey, that play? I mean, is there a guy that
there is a baby one right now in New Jersey?
Yes, the Allen guy, right?
Yeah.
And that was a great pickup by them. I got to give them credit because he is.
Now, will he turn into Derrick Henry? I don't know. I don't think so. Derrick Henry's a one of one.
Yeah, I don't think he's as physical
like
though.
Him. Yeah, he's faster than Derrick though.
He is. I will give you that, but I don't think he's as empowering.
Yeah,
like meaning physical. He's physical, but holy shit, like Derrick Henry is just on a different level. But you're right. I think Derrick Henry might be what those 101s. Where it just comes down to it where, yeah, he's just a beast.
Yep.
I think, you know what? That's a great, we have played Henry pretty good. I will say that.
Usually,
but he's also
breaks one.
But he always has, yes, he has moments against us where they're big moments, right?
Well, I'm hoping with
replay moments.
Yes, I'm hoping with the new defensive style that we have with some of the new linebackers and safeties and stuff, we're not going to have those where we let those super long runs go. So far, we've done a pretty good job of capping those one that we give up every game. Mm-hmm. So because we have better run stopping linebackers. No,
I agree. But man. Boy, we better play physical. These guys, you better play. You better get ready because this is going to be a game where I'm going to tell you too. Derrick Henry also is he's going to be hurting some of our players as far as they're going to be feeling it in the morning after tackling him,
absolutely.
Right? Like that's the kind of player he is. So
now
get ready.
The question is, does Baltimore, have the patience to stay with it? If they go down,
right,
they have the patience to stay with it.
That's where I was going with earlier. That's my key to the game. Get up early, bend, don't break. You know what I mean? Let's settle for field goals for them. Let's build that lead and let them get to playing one dimensional. because I think that's the way that you're going to beat this Ravens team. And look, they're 1-2. Like, obviously, teams have played them well up to this point, right? So they can be beaten. It's not like they are a juggernaut right now. They are having some issues.
And it's been uncommon because the Raiders game, they beat themselves. And that's not common for a Harbaugh team,
right,
to beat themselves.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they beat, like, they should have beaten the Chiefs opening night. They beat themselves.
I agree. Yeah.
You know,
I'll tell you what, Dallas almost ran back on them.
They almost beat themselves again. Can they get out of their own way is the real question.
Right.
So can we put enough pressure on them to make them make those mistakes?
Yep. Man, thank you, Mafia Talk, man. My boy Jay. Hey, you guys, man, tune into him too on Wednesdays, man. They're doing big things on this channel, man, making this channel grow. Go ahead, Mikey.
I'm excited for that game on Sunday night. I think it's going to be lots of views. A lot of people are going to be tuning in for that one.
Oh, dude, it's going to be, trust me, because I still think there's still people not buying the Bills yet.
Yep.
And even though this is a 1-2 team, come on, people still know the Ravens are a very good team. They are a dangerous team. They have playmakers all over the field. Their defense is not the same, like, where it's like this overpowering, awesome defense, but they still bring it. They still have the head coach there. Like, they have a lot of good things going on in Baltimore still, right? Where that makes them a dangerous team. And one of the better teams in the AFC. Their just record doesn't show that right now. They could still turn around and be a really dangerous team.
Dan's right, though. Harbaugh's body language has not been good on the sideline this year. Like he's losing. Like, he doesn't understand what they're doing and why
it's not clicking.
He's very much like McDaniel was in week 2 when he just can't figure out what the hell.
Oh, he looked even worse. He looked even worse. Did you see McDaniel against the Seahawks? Oh, my God.
Well, you have Tim Boyle playing quarterback. What do you expect?
Well, initially he had the one dude who looked
got hurt.
Terrible. Yeah, but it was so bad, Mikey, up to that point. It was bad anyways. But yeah, he looked defeated. Like, he looked just like lost, man. It was bad.
All right, let's jump back into your thing.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Keep momentum rolling. Yes, sir. Look at this guy right here. Look at him. This is for you, Tommy and Mikey.
Wearing that tiny tee, trying to show off his muscles.
Yes, you don't think I'm a good postseason coach? All right.
Let me wear this tiny shirt. Show you my muscles.
Yeah. You notice he's not wearing his glasses this year much. He used to wear his glasses.
But he's also had a bunch of night games so far.
Yeah. All right.
2 of the 3 have been at night.
So I do see him there, though. He may be trying to call a timeout, though, maybe. Let's see. All right, here we go.
On defense.
Right. Or is he getting ready to clap on something? He likes to clap a lot. All right, let's get to it. If there is a pair for the Bills in regards to a 2-headed monster, did I read that? I already read that, right? Or no? It's Allen and momentum. After Buffalo dismantled the Jacksonville Jaguars 47-10 on Monday Night Football, no team in the NFL is hotter. Yeah. That's the type of thing that head coach Sean McDermott has to tap into heading into the top AFC matchup, especially because this outcome could weigh heavy when the playoff picture starts to round out later this season. So, yeah, Mikey, keep momentum rolling, right?
Absolutely. That's what we talked about. It's part of the keys of the game, right? Keep empowering your players. Keep putting those schemes together and execute. If we continue to execute the way we have been through the first 3 weeks, we should win this game.
I got your email, buddy. I got your email. I'll shoot you an email back sometime this week. Okay, buddy? Appreciate you, though. But I got you. I did get your email. You ready to move on to the next?
We're here to pump you up. That's what he was saying.
Okay.
Next one.
Okay. All right. Another big one for Josh. It's really a simple stat to look at. The Ravens defense has allowed 291.7 yards per game so far in 2024. Not good. The season is only 3 games old, but that's by far, Mikey, the NFL's worst. Man. The Washington Commanders are statistically the second worst pass defense this year, allowing 255.7 yards per game. Sure, we can say any week that the Bills should let Allen carry the load. It's hard to not specifically say it's against Baltimore considering these numbers. And for those curious, the Jaguars are at 252 yards per game allowed in the air. That's the third worst. We saw how that went in Buffalo.
I think some of this is contributed from that Dallas game where in that fourth quarter they just went, gonzo on them, and they just were playing like, deep zone and almost blew it. I think that's part of where some of that comes from. I do like their players. I'll be interested in what kind of defense they're going to run against us, because Baltimore through the years have been known to play physical man defense.
Yeah.
We have bigger receivers now that can play through that type of stuff. So I'll be interested to see after what we did to Jacksonville last week, if they decide to go man or if they decide to go zone.
Yep.
Yeah. McDermott personally is a good guy.
Yeah. We never had, listen, man, I never said McDermott. When we talk bad about McDermott,
it's about his playoff schemes is my McDermott.
That's the only thing, dude. Listen, man, look. If we were starting to head, me and Mikey bought a football team with our, billions of dollars that me and Mikey secretly have, and we were to buy an NFL team, right, from the ground up, right, floor up, whatever, we would. If McDermott was available, I probably would hire McDermott because I think he did an excellent job with a team that was rock bottom.
Yep.
Right. And of course, I would love Brandon Beane on the team too, but he did an excellent job for a team that was rock bottom. And he got, and not only that, I feel like he has a lot of good traits as far as like morale, building like locker room stuff, getting the right guys here. He knows how to build. He's a leader. Exactly. So when things aren't going good, like injury, and he also too, he's a defensive guy. He's great with the corners. Like there's a lot of great things when it comes to McDermott. So yes, no doubt. I think I would pick him first if he was available. No problem. The problem we've had with McDermott is playoff runs and where he hits a wall, and he hits a wall and he hits it fucking hard. Right. And he doesn't have an answer. And he's now what, year 7 or 8? Is he now? Year 8. It's time to figure out the wall, right? Yeah. Like, what is causing you to keep hitting it and have no answer? And we can't, and that's me and Mikey's point. You can't keep going through this over and over and over until you lost your team, because eventually Josh will get older. Eventually players move on. Offensive coordinators move on. Defensive coordinators move on. You already saw that. Brian Dable, like, you start missing pieces, right? Cromer will leave. Like, that's when teams start falling apart because you kept holding on to a guy that's just going to figure it out.
I think what I like that McDermott's done different this year is he doesn't have that same staff. He overturned his staff.
That is true. Well, we talked about that.
Yeah, to see if like, I like that he didn't just continue to retread over and over and over, because that's what a lot of the coaches that end up getting can do. He went out and like gutted his staff and brought in all new guys, and it seems to be working. They're responding, which is a positive. So now I just hope that we can be healthy enough when we get the playoffs to where if the scheme doesn't work, we can point in and say, okay, we tried it. It didn't work. Because right now it's like, okay, well, we've been injured over the last 3 years in the playoffs, but everyone's injured.
But if it doesn't work, though, you can't keep doing that routine either. Yeah. Right. Then you're just doing the I'm just saying, then you're doing the scapegoat thing, right? Like, oh, I got to blame it on somebody because I can't blame it on myself. So I got to put it on, this guy.
Smiley this year, finally.
Yeah. Which I'll be fine with. Right. but I'm with you. And we said it in the beginning of this podcast is the guys that and in all reality, this is kind of a new coaching staff. I mean, there's a lot of new faces that are all doing their part. So I'm with you, Mikey. And maybe that is what will take McDermott get him over that hump. Now that he has reliable guys in their positions, right? Coaching positions. So maybe that is
say fact, Spen. I don't know if you can call it fact that we wouldn't find someone better than him.
Yeah.
I think it's a gamble if you fire McDermott and going out. It's always a gamble when you fire your head coach and go get a new head coach that it's going to work. Like, honestly, if we fired McDermott, I think our best bet would be to hire within, like a Brady or someone like that.
So here's the deal. Me and Mike here agree too. I don't think they're going to fire him anyways.
I don't think
he's going to be out there in 2026 when the stadium opens up. That's one. Two, if they did fire him, Mo, I don't think they do hire him. I think if they made that crucial decision, like if that, because it would be a big time decision, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a tough thing to do. And I agree. If they made that crucial decision, it's because they know there's somebody out there that they want and they're willing to make that offer. And it would have to be a coach that they truly go, dude, this isn't like, some guy that does have no experience. I'm talking about a guy that maybe he has a load of experience. They trust. They know that he could take it to the next level. Like, I'm just throwing that out there. So I don't think they would just fire him to hire anybody. Like, they're going to know if that time comes, they're going to have a plan. They're going to have a plan in place. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm going with it. But we'll see what happens.
We're talking about a 3-0 head coach this year too. So
yeah. I
mean, I don't foresee him getting fired. Like, we would have to completely. Josh would have to go to Pagula and say, "Listen, this isn't working. We need to do something different," for him to fire him. That's what it would take.
Yeah. By the way, my Hurricanes are getting whooped.
Yeah.
No, never mind. 27-24. They're down by 3. Okay, they were getting whooped. All right. So, anyways,
I'm with you. Spin on this. I'm with you on this. All the other coaches out there outside those few that have won Super Bowls haven't been able to get done either. Andy Reid wasn't able to get it done until he left his team and went somewhere else.
That is true. I understand that. That's a valid point too. But there's also the flip side of it. You can't still just go, well, it is what it is. Just keep on going. Like, you can't also do that. Like, you can't go with that, like, either. Oh, I think you'll get it. Yeah, he'll figure it out. I think, there's no, we're just going to have to stick with what we got. Like, you can't. That's the same as a quarterback. Think about it, right? You can have a quarterback who's good. Like, let's Dak Prescott, me and Mike, you were talking about. I like him. He's good. But how long are you going to roll with him until you go, he's just never going to maybe be that dude? Yeah. Are you scared? Right. Are you scared? You got to eventually, my point is, you got to take, that's the gamble you take sometimes, but you can't keep rolling with because we're afraid to make any changes. You have to, again,
I think this went down a rabbit hole of.
I didn't. Who brought it up? I didn't bring it up.
We're talking about McDermott being a good guy. And
you're right. That is great. But you are right. You are right. So we're 3-0.
We're 3-0. Vibes are high. Things are going well.
Yeah.
But let's just keep it going.
And to his credit, I will say this too, though. He's done a very good job this year. As far as calling timeouts, his clock management's been really good.
He's hired the right guys. Brought in
even jump. Yes, even Perry. Like, he's doing a lot of things this year the right way. And Bean probably too. Bean's like, hey, maybe even Bean said, man, we need to give you more help. Right? So you can do this. Like, you can concentrate on, and it's working so far. So yes. So let's move on to the next one. Yep. Because we can talk about McDermott on it. All right, let's go. Ongoing injuries for both. Yes. Oh God, injuries. Both teams have injuries that could impact this one. At linebacker, Dorian Williams and Balen Spector have played well recently. They have. They're still backups. That is true. And will again feature in week 4. On the flip side, the likes of Tyler Lindenbaum, Patrick McCarry, and Andrew Voorhees are all on the Ravens injury report this week. Great last name, Voorhees. That trio are all starters on Baltimore's offensive line, which is not good. If you have your offensive line beat up, not good. Players might. Go ahead. Players might need to step on both sides. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry,
that's the end of that.
You hadn't. Voorhees is one of those guys that I wanted so badly coming out of USC. He was injured towards ACL coming out in the draft. Remember we were talking about him? Like, that's one of those fourth rounders that you grab and stash for future year guys. This is his first year back because he took all last year with recovering from the ACL. He struggled a little bit this year. And because he's a rookie, basically, and he's coming back off of a knee injury. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays off. I think our defensive line versus our offensive line is the real key to this game. It's all about the trenches.
Yeah, but if they're banged up on their offensive line like that,
we have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of that. Like, that's one thing I felt like, see, and I know I'm going back to the McDermott thing, but that Bengals game, guys, that we lost at home?
Well, I don't know if I'm putting that on McDermott. Our guys came out flat.
Yeah, but sometimes, leading up to a game, you also have have your guys prepared as well. I agree with you, though. It takes two, right? Your players also have to play, they have to execute. I'm with you 100%. But also, too, the game planning, your scheme, just everything. Like, I felt like that game, too, going in, that the Bengals offensive line was depleted, right? And yet we didn't make any adjustments. We still played that soft zone. Like, we played right into their hands, and we did nothing to change it. So my point is, like, this game here, you got to understand, right? Like, just like the Chiefs understood that we were missing linebackers, and they attacked us. Like, that's what you do. So it is what it is. There's injuries all across the board, and you're right, Mikey. Attack, and see if they can stop us. That's how I would do against this. I would send 4 and see if our line can beat them. I wouldn't even blitz. I would send 4 and have a spire on Lamar.
I would say you can't blitz, because if you leave any type of lane,
he's going to
sneak through you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spin says you have 1 in 32 chances to win the Super Bowl. Switching coach every 5 to 8 years is not a good solution. It's not, and I'm not saying we should. However, McDermott, I think it was ESPN that talked about it. McDermott's one of the longest tenured coaches, but he's the only one who doesn't have a Super Bowl appearance of them.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the longest tenured coach who hasn't been.
Yeah. So I'm a 3-year guy. I always said 3 years for me to see where a coach can get you at that point. If that coach has improved the team, then I think he deserves more, and McDermott has. So I haven't been screaming to fire McDermott. It's just we want to see better. That's all.
I don't even want to see better. I think he's a fantastic defensive mind. I just want to see better in the playoffs.
Yes. Want to see better in the playoffs.
If we're scoring 28 points in the playoffs and we're still losing, there's a problem.
Yes,
Although
I agree.
If we would have scored 28 last year, we would have won. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I agree with that. So, but yeah, we like McDermott. We love what he's doing this year. Let's keep it rolling. Yes. We're 3-0. We're going to go 4-0, right? And that's it. So, Mike, it's been a long show. We went down a lot of rabbit holes. We had Jay on, and he went down rabbit holes.
That was fun. It
was great. Had a good time. That's what we do here. That's what we do here.
It's that time in the show.
It is that time, guys. It's
prediction time.
Prediction time. So, Mikey, go for it.
I have it 31-27 Buffalo.
Oh, close. Jeez, man. When will you learn? When will you learn? When
really, Mister? I have it close every week until now.
Not really. I had a blowout last week. I did.
Yeah. Listen, I switched that. I had us losing originally. I have us now winning 31-27.
Thanks. Well, at least you got us winning.
Did it hurt your pride that I said that? Does that hurt you? Does that hurt your feelings, Tommy?
Yes. I got 34-13. 34. No, 34-7. 34-17. Yes, 34-17.
Beat them by a few scores.
I do. I don't think this. I don't think we. I don't see us slowing down at all. I also see the Ravens right now struggling against the pass, and I feel like coming off an impressive win last week, I think our mojo is at a all-time high. And I don't think we're going to overlook them at all. This isn't about overlooking a team like, oh, look at us. But I just think we are clicking on all cylinders at this point, and I don't think the Ravens are. I think the Ravens right now are still trying to find their way. They're a good team, but I think they're a little bit lost right now, including their head coach, which we talked about earlier in the show. So I don't think that's so crazy of a score prediction because of how they're playing and how we're playing at this moment. So 34-17. I think we get the job done.
I had it close because every game they've played has been close.
Oh, for Baltimore, that makes sense. I'm with you there.
I don't foresee a Harbaugh's team just getting ragdolled like that. I just don't.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have an answer. The only way this game's close, I'll be honest with you, I think the only way this game's close is if our defense, if we cannot stop Derrick Henry.
Okay.
I think then it will be a shootout. But if we could control Derrick Henry and we can make them one-dimensional, meaning get a lead and force Lamar to have to throw the ball, I think we build a lead and we maintain that lead. And that's the end of the story there, man.
I'll tell you, listen, I am not going to hate it. I'll happily be wrong if your outcome comes true.
Yeah.
Your outcome makes me feel much better throughout the game. My outcome makes me, clinch until the end.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't like that. So who is your X factor for this game?
That's a good question. Okay. On defense and offense, right?
Yep.
On both offense. Okay. So I'm going to go with one I love that I think is such a playmaker, Khalil Shakir. I think Khalil Shakir is because once again, Baltimore struggling on offense with that. And then Khalil Shakir is playing also at a high level right now. His confidence is at all-time high. Him and Josh are also really feeling it. And I think he can really have a breakout type of game against Baltimore, considering all the, trouble they're having recently with the passing game. And I think this might be actually one of Khalil Shakir's better games of the season. He's had some good ones already. So I'm going to say Khalil Shakir on offense. On defense, I'm going to go with Christian Benford. I think Christian Benford gets an interception in this game. I think he plays really physical like he's been doing. And I think he gets a turnover, interception.
I'm going to go James Cook.
Nice.
I like the matchup with their linebackers. And then I'm going to go Ed Oliver.
Big
Ed.
Ed.
With Voorhees banged up.
Yeah, makes sense.
I have a feeling Ed. I think Vaughn's going to get another sack too. But I think Ed's going to have a chance to really, wreak some havoc on this game.
I
like that spend Kincaid. I like that. We started seeing Kincaid get more involved last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, too, I like Ed's because if Ed and Daquan Jones can wreak havoc and force Lamar to the outside where Gregory Rousseau and Von Miller's out there,
and AJ,
there's just and AJ,
Solomon who got his first
strip sack
in his first game.
Yeah, that's where Lamar will have nowhere to go. Like that. That like you're right. Like if that middle interior does their job. It's gonna be a tough one for them to figure out there if he's in trouble all night.
Oh, I like this one. Dorian Williams gets a peanut punch on Henry, causing a fumble.
Oh, that'd be so sweet. Yeah.
Dorian's been playing so good, dude.
He's been
playing so good.
He's a physical linebacker, boy. I give him that.
I was mad when we took both those linebackers, and now I'm glad we have both of them.
Yeah, me too. And by the way, Dorian's gonna have to play physical. Really, like get ready, buddy, because here's the guy. Here's the guy that's going to be
this is the guy you're going to have to play physical with.
Right. There is no lazy tackling with Derrick Henry. I think you got to wrap him up, and it might take two guys, Mikey. You know how that goes. Like, just wrap him up, man. Take his ass to the ground.
Right? Get him to the ground. I don't care how you do it.
Right. I don't care how you do it. Oh, man. So is there anything else, Mikey?
No, I think we're good. I'm excited. Tomorrow, fantasy football.
It is. So, Mike, you missed last week. Yeah, people in my chat asking me fantasy questions on AFC Shakedown. I'm like, I can't answer that. Mikey's an answer.
Yep.
I know. You'll have to forgive your followers tomorrow.
Listen, and I will, because Howie was mad at me too. He was ready for it. He had some things, and
man. All right, so Mikey and Howie will be on tomorrow at 2 Fantasy Kingdom for everyone that enjoys your fantasy football. They do a great job over there. So Mafia Sports Report at 2:00. I'll have that up tonight, so you guys just hit the notification bell. You'll know when they're live. And then at 4:00, AFC Shakedown. It will not be on my channel. It will be on the Jets Anthony's channel, which I have his channel in my YouTube, so you can see it below. But I'll tweet it out for everyone that's on Twitter. and I'll also put it on the my YouTube as well. So and that's at 4:00, so you don't want to miss that either. And that's it. Oh, the Jets Life Podcast. That's the name of his podcast. So Jets Life Podcast. Yeah.
Oh,
so if you guys go over there, and that's a 4, and then of course pregame Sunday. You guys know I go an hour before football starts, before Buffalo Bills football starts. So I'll be on at 7:00, and then me and Mikey post game Sunday night. You don't want to miss that. We're right after.
Yeah,
so
buddy.
Be there, subscribe. Yep, just like Mafia Talk, Jason said, man. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that's it. We're out of here, man. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Bills Mafia rule. We're out. Peace.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Go Bills, man.